What episode is this? Episode 23.
Yeah, fuck me. How about that?
Crazy, right? 23, not consecutive, but 23 weeks we've been doing this.
I've said fuck me about 30 seconds into the podcast, and before this, Harper and I were saying, we really should tone down the swearing and just a little bit of the offensive shit we say. Well,
Yeah, let's just get rid of all our fans. Let's just do that as well.
all two of them.
Let's just fuck them all up. They can't.
You're listening to Way Off Central.
Do the Indian listeners love it when we get on them, or like, what's the go? Is that the only reason they listen?
I really hope people got around the Dougcast. I don't think dude, I don't know. We should check stats because we got a chat with the Titancast dude. He wants to find out about our stats, and he said he's been talking to a couple of different hosting services and stuff. And the first questions they ask is how many downloads and shit do they pull in. And one from Mum.
Very few. We should probably all actually
They're
ask.
good value though.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We should probably all start asking, just some of our respective listeners.
I can 100% hear.
Yeah, me too.
that through. It's the neighbour kids. If anyone can hear that in the background.
We can close that wit.
We did.
It's not open. It's not. They are significantly loud.
They are significantly loud.
Episode 23.
Hey
What are our
guys.
topics today? Did we put them in the group chat?
No, we didn't.
No, that's why I don't know them. Hey, let's
Well,
fucking jump on Joel's back, but hey, let's not tell anyone.
You say that, but you arrived late, and the other day, you said to me, "Oh, did Harper chat to you about us recording on Thursday, not Tuesday?" And I said, "Yeah, it's in the chat." And he went, "Oh, my bad."
Who Harper did?
You did. Harper said on the chat, "We're recording Thursday this week," and you asked me, "Did Harper tell you?" He did.
Via the chat.
Oh,
Anyway, so this week,
It's taken a long time to get through.
it's quite topical at the moment. Natural disasters. Starting with the bushfires, of which we need to probably tread a bit lighter than I'd thought, because I found out today through ABC News that the death toll has risen to 4 from the bushfires. So our condolences with the family and friends of those people. That's a bad way to go, man.
it's a bad way to go, but if you go kilometres squared of how much bush has actually been on fire to how many people have died, it'd be a load.
Apparently 5% of the koala population has been knocked out. That's a blow. That is
That
a
is-
blow.
That
It's-
hurts.
right,
Koalas are cute.
blow the belt, that was. But then again,
That is rough.
they were pretty low from all the other bushfires, so
Yeah.
5% was probably 5.
Losing people, negligible. Losing koalas, that hurts.
A mate at work today said, I feel bad about how much paper I've used printing out stuff today. I said, well, it's either that or it's on fire out in the bush, mate. So it's probably done the right thing. He's going, well, when you put it that way.
Quality.
I was talking to Emma the other day. I was like, I really wish I didn't know most of Australia was on fire right now. And she's like, why? I was like, just so I don't feel bad. Like, it's way heavier than it should be for something that I can't really help.
100%.
I could do
feel
more.
that.
I'm not gonna. Mostly just donating goods. They don't want money anymore. They just want
What do you think buys the goods, mate? Sure.
no, but they don't want money anymore. They just want the goods. Apparently, they just want
So wait, they're really
baby wipes and pawpaw.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you talking shit or is
No,
this...
they had a list on a website of what things they need donated to them.
See, here's how I view that. And don't get me wrong,
All the stores are burnt down. They can't go and buy them.
all the voluntary and the emergency service personnel doing a great job and whatnot. But I don't know. It feels like they're but asking for people to go that extra mile in terms of volunteering. Where instead of just donating money and then those people go buy the goods, you buy the goods and ship directly to us, which
It's probably a little
Australia
more.
Post.
It's probably a little more like
They need
to
everybody.
do with allocation. It's a right side easier to receive, a container load of blankets and say, all right, everybody grab a blanket. Cool. We got a blanket right here.
Then
Whereas if we all send a bunch of money, then they're like, oh shit. Do we
everyone
spend it
has
on
to
blankets?
decide how we distribute the money.
Exactly. Do we spend it on
okay.
blankets? Do we get pawpaw? Do we get water? Do we get baby wipes? Do we buy food or housing or It's a right side easier for us to say, oh cool, blankets. Everybody stay warm.
I reckon they're probably doing that if I'm
Yeah,
honest,
you're right.
mate, but I get what you mean.
I do
Alright,
rate how
look,
New Zealand
Zupidipus.
came in. Like the New Zealand firefighters.
That's
not
good,
all
but-
of them, obviously, but Strike Team 6 or something they called themselves. It's like, whoa.
Okay.
God, man, you're just shooting water.
Air quotes military. In saying that, but like, I don't remember the last time I heard about a fire in NZ, so they're probably feeling all right.
Yeah, you're right.
Going, about time we
Unless it was
we dusted out the old cobwebs.
Unless it
I
was a
gotta
church
say,
or something.
I'd rather fight either of you two than fight a fire.
Oh,
Fire's scary. Like
you heard about that time that
I did.
Yeah. All right, just making sure because like,
But
fucking
worst case scenario, I get a couple broken ribs, like bruises, maybe a couple broken bones, but like
worst case scenario in either situation, you die.
yeah, but I don't reckon I'm gonna die in a fight. I reckon I'm gonna hold my own enough. But the point is,
I get your point.
fire's gonna burn, and that's a shit way to go. And like especially in the conditions that these guys are fighting, in, like middle of the bush, everything's dry, like it can just sweep out of nowhere.
Oh, it's awful.
You can be fighting the fire on one front, and 30 k's behind you, 6 spot fires are starting up and cutting you off from, everything because of the embers and the wind and the climate and all that sort of rubbish. Like,
Yeah, I was listening to the news and the embers are starting fires like 50 kilometres away and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
like these aren't.
50?
I'm just making it
I think it's 10 to 20 is like the
I
max.
definitely
But
know.
Well, no, so like on a good day, you're looking, 5 to 10 k's away. On a bad day, you're looking like 30 k's away.
yeah, right.
And that's, you got to think about that. If you're fighting one front, I mean, obviously that's going to be a
It's
pretty
an
big
enemy
front.
that can one little spark can fly behind you that no one can see, and then
Exactly.
it's coming from behind you. Like
You know what they
wild.
need to do? Tasmania needs to take flight and then just drop right in the ocean. Tsunami. Problem solved.
Brilliant.
What are we thinking?
So for
You're right. We
those
should-
on the Titancast that don't know, if you guys ever seen like the Avengers, those like shield sort of aircraft, that's basically what Tasmania is. So it can actually just fly, pick itself up, and then just drop itself wherever it wants.
Do you reckon Tasmania is bigger than the theoretical or fantastical Sokovia?
Yeah, we'll say Sokovia out of the second Avengers.
Yeah, easy. Sokovia was a town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a little country, but anyway.
Yeah, it probably was, but little, as in a town.
Little, like the Vatican.
Which one's
Yeah.
poorer? Let's go.
Sokovia.
Yeah, definitely Sokovia.
In family values, yes. It's because Tasmanians are incest.
They value their family quite highly.
I saw a TikTok. It was like
2 camels.
getting pulled over in Tasmania by the cops. And it's like, hey, what are you doing? And it's like this. Obviously.
Someone with a disability based on the fact that they're inbred.
I'll keep that part.
Who starts these bushfires? Because I was saying a lot of these are
Yeah, they're pointing fingers.
lit.
There. I don't know who, but they think they're.
like arson. Like a lot of people have.
My
It's the
question
Greens.
is...
Why is everyone? That's what I want to know. Why is everyone blaming the Greens? Like the coalition that's been in power like till 17 out of like the last 23 years is going. It's great. And then
We
like,
know
every,
they're doing
like I understand the whole let's not talk about climate change when people are suffering, but it's like that's certainly not fucking helping, is it?
Oh, definitely not.
You know, if it was the Greens, for some fucking reason, they just thought, fuck it, let's do this. Their reasoning behind it would be, we're going to show everybody that who's in charge now? Labor or Liberal?
Liberal.
Liberal cannot take care of this country. So we're going to fucking light it all on fire. And then everyone's going to be like, I'm sick of voting Liberal. They're doing nothing. Let's give Greens a go.
Burn it all
And then
down.
they're
We're
gonna
going to start
single-handedly
again.
fix the world.
I don't think that's how the plan worked, but I'd like to believe that's how the plan worked.
And
It's
no,
like, fuck this.
that's how the plan is working.
Who lights them, but really? Like, what goes through your mind? Like, I'm all for having a small fire.
I don't necessarily
Even a
think...
large fire, not a bushfire.
I don't necessarily think this is taking into like when I hear arson, I think someone,
Terrorism. Yeah.
well, not necessarily terrorism, but someone intentionally lighting a bushfire, right? Whereas I think arson also includes things like throwing a cigarette butt on the ground, or not necessarily entirely intentional, but it's sort of like manslaughter. You can still cause the problem. You can still kill someone, even though you didn't necessarily mean to.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but they are saying, I don't know how they work it out. I don't know how they work
I
it out,
agree.
but a lot of them are saying some of these are being intentionally lit. And I just want to say, if you're doing that, you're a piece of shit.
I saw a picture on Facebook of some fire station, and they got up in the morning or something to get their trucks ready, and some cunters come and cut all the hoses.
You're joking.
That's pretty fucking dog.
That's not even like a little...
That's huge. How... Fuck, that's bad.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Although, having said that, I feel like where the hose attaches to the truck, now you just like get a couple of guys in the truck, one hanging off the side and just like opening the valve as you do drive-bys on the fire. You just like...
Open the
That'd be
valve,
sick.
put a brick on the accelerator and just jump out.
Yeah, just
Now
let
you've
it
got a
go.
water bomb.
But
Oh,
there's petrol, and then you don't put water on a petrol fire, because then that's what... Anyway.
But the water in the truck will keep the petrol cool, so it won't ignite.
That's...
One truck will single-handedly put out 100 square Ks.
Let's do what they do in
I love
Future
the
Up.
way your brain makes associations.
Let's go to the Arctic, or let's go to the Antarctic, get a big cube of ice, bring it, like the ice caps are melting, let's grab one of the pieces that falls off, bring it to Australia, drop it in the desert, or drop it on these bushfires. There you go. The fire melts the ice,
I like to think
The
that
arse-
would work a little bit.
melts and puts out the fire.
Let's all get all the firefighters to the North or South Pole. Let's
can't-
start drilling the ice so it all falls off into the ocean, causing waves and the sea level rise. But it doesn't.
If all of the Antarctic melted, what does this ocean rise? I think it's like 7 meters.
Apparently there is not enough ice left to, like, the buoyancy of it doesn't raise the sea level. I watched a science video.
There's a couple of little questions
that's
about
a
this,
theory.
because ice expands. Oh, sorry, water is one of the only things on the planet that expands when it gets colder.
No, it doesn't. It shrinks when it gets colder, and then it expands once it freezes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that begs the question: if you expand all the water, that reduces the amount of room for the water, and therefore rises sea levels. Or if it's floating, then it still weighs the same as it would as it was a liquid. So it wouldn't displace enough, like it wouldn't displace more water than it would as a liquid. So yeah, how does sea level rise? Crazy.
Okay, I don't want to be a dick about this. I don't want to treat this as the single point of truth. This is from the American Museum of Natural History.
I already don't believe it.
If all of the ice covering Antarctica, Greenland, and in mountain glaciers around the world, so I guess you take into account Alaska, a good
That'd be
portion of
Alaska, Canada,
yeah, Russia,
Sweden, Finland, Denmark.
yeah, throughout the Arctic. If it were all to melt, the sea level would rise about 70 meters.
70.
The ocean
It's not too bad.
would cover all coastal cities, and land area would shrink significantly, but many cities would survive.
Anywhere inland.
However,
really.
all the ice is not going to melt. The Antarctic ice cap, where most of the ice exists, has survived much warmer times.
Bit of sunshine at the end of the tunnel there, wasn't that?
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I think it. Like, I understand.
Might go buy some plastic bags.
That's still going to kill the animals,
Oh, shit.
just not the ice caps.
Fuck. Might go drive my car.
Apparently, the
You're probably still going to hit an animal at this point.
apparently the
crossed.
smoke's so bad over these bushfires too that the helicopter engines and shit, they just like clog up. Like, they can't drop water bombs now too. It's fucked.
Makes sense.
Where do you think
Crazy.
all these people going? Where do you think all these people who live in them areas are going? Are they just going like further down the road and staying at a mate's house until that area gets evacuated, or are they just fucking off?
Surely you
Out of
just
the way.
go. Like you
Yeah, surely.
They
pack
do
up
set up.
whatever you got, and they set up temporary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's all right.
they set up plenty of temporary community centres and all that sort of stuff, housing.
Let's move on because this is getting sad.
Was
about-
one of the other questions, what's the coolest natural disaster?
No, but
Okay.
what do you think is the coolest natural disaster?
I don't know, Firenado seems pretty cool.
The first ever.
As if Sharknado isn't there. As
So-
if not that's not the coolest.
Are
They
they
believed
natural?
for a long time fire tornadoes weren't real, and they're not essentially a fire tornado, but the first ever fire tornado documented in science, fun fact, Canberra Bushfires 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, not a really fun fact. People died. But anyway,
It's a cool fact.
Cool way to die.
yeah, fire tornado. Yeah, well, basically the tornado is sort of what started it because one ember travelled X amount of Ks and like a bunch of them sort of together and made the fire up near Stromlo and
That's what's scary about fire. Not only is it burning as it goes, but it creates its own weather system.
yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's so hot, it changes all the airflow. It creates its own wind, which just drives it further and further. So the only way to stop a fire is to prevent it from having any more fuel.
Surely this like people are going to be not happy blaming like climate change on Australia now. Surely. The amount, that we're just burning.
Yeah, this is really not helping us meet our
Renewable energy targets.
yeah. What is it? The Paris Accords.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not helping.
All right. In a tsunami, what would you do?
How close are we?
Yeah, how close are we? Are we
Okay.
right on the beach, staying on the
So
in a
you-
resort or something? Because I'd probably kill myself.
You're on the beach, but you get like 8 hours notice.
Oh. Build a sandcastle. Go for a dip.
Go for a dip, grab a pina colada, wait for the water to start rushing out, then like it.
Go for a quick body surf.
Yeah, wait until you see the wave. Wait until you're in the shadow of the wave, and then just get on a dirt bike and like get a camera in front of you and just like a cool action movie.
GoPro. Fuck, you'd get to join the Red Bull team and everything.
Yeah,
surely.
fucking hope you would.
No, seriously, you get like 6-7 hours. Like the idea usually would be, let's say you get 8 hours. Think about the traffic jams though.
True.
Like you can't.
What
pack
do
up
I
all
have
your shit.
access to?
The Pulsar.
I've just got the pulsar.
You have the Pulsar. You got a full tank of petrol,
But in Phuket.
and you've got 8 hours. There was a tsunami.
All right, I siphoned-
There was a tsunami very close to where we're staying.
I drive to the dock, siphon the fuel out of the pulsar, find a
And
boat
float.
that runs on petrol, get the boat, and
You
just go
won't-
straight forward.
No way. Okay, you're not getting on top of it
You don't
in
reckon?
8 hours.
You don't reckon? Because it's got no
I reckon you'd run out of fuel.
reckon?
Start kicking.
You get a fair way out.
8 hours. It's a long time.
I mean,
to
you
be
can
driving
just
a
start
boat.
paddling.
But I do definitely agree.
But in
If
one
you-
of their
okay,
boats.
you've got the
That's
Pulsar.
true.
You don't get to steal a boat. But
I didn't
if-
say I stole a boat. I traded the boat. I traded the pulsar for a boat.
shit, but if you trade the Pulsar for a boat, whatever boat you got is not getting out on top of the tsunami in 8 hours.
That's a Lamborghini over there, mate.
Can I have Michael Phelps on my team? They can swim me out there.
Yes.
Fuck, it'd be sick. It is what you do, hey. 100%.
You'd have to take it head on.
You wouldn't even... No, you'd 100% get a boat out there. You wouldn't even feel it if you were directly on top of it.
Yeah.
You would not feel it. It'd just be a little... maybe.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
it'd
like
be
on
part
top
the
of it
swell.
at its peak. I was
Nah.
Nah, on top of where the earth
Yeah.
crack and whatever's happened, yeah.
Yeah. If you were sitting on the epicenter, it's already past you. You got nothing.
Yeah.
That'd be
That
fine.
wouldn't even matter.
I'd nearly fucking turn around and follow it.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, because it
Yeah,
gets
the
pulled back,
backwash.
yeah.
It'd still be kind of cool. So
Yeah, okay, could have been part of it. I just wanted to get a part of the action.
you get a surely that's how you commit to killing yourself. You get a surfboard and you just ride the wave. That be the final wave. Just be like, this is the way to go. Everyone's on top of buildings on the beach, like looking out, like, oh my god, we're all gonna die.
Full point break.
And yeah, you're just like on top of this wave, just like, I am the best.
Imagine starting at the bottom and you start picking up like mad pace, and all of a sudden you're like body surfing or regular surfing if you have the confidence in yourself to ride a tsunami, and it's all of a sudden you're like 60 k's or something, and then you're down the bottom, you get this sweet, and you just start to come up, and you're like fuck, fuck, and at one point you just fall, and the wave takes you, and you can't hold your breath that long, and it just dumps you,
Crazy.
and then you get submerged with shuckers. Radical, dude.
Good thing you were already tattooed in shuckers from head to toe.
Good thing I was wearing my shell necklace.
With the shark tooth. Fuck, your dreads would look a bit worse for wear at the end of it, but yeah.
In the first hour of my 8, I would get red paint and do a Superman symbol on top of a house. Just for fun.
But he also might rock up.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. You nearly have to stay behind just in case.
Okay, would Batman help in a situation? Can I light my Batman torch? Will that is that going to help me at all?
Oh, I don't reckon he's going to come and just pick you up.
If it's Dark Knight Rises where he's got the bat, then I reckon we're cool because that thing can fly. But apart from that, no, probably not.
Yes, but it's only little Bruce Wayne out of the new Joker film.
So all you get to do is put your fingers in his mouth.
Great.
Spoiler alert.
Can I call Wonder Woman? Can someone come get me on the invisible jet? No, Aquaman. That's who we call.
Yeah, probably.
He's got to be. He's
Seems
got to
like a
get that
fairly
soon
obvious
enough.
option, really.
Yeah, you're right.
Who else? Anyway, Cyclones.
Sub-Zero. Just
Let-
freeze the whole thing.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
Iceman, X-Men.
Cyclones. What would you do? And I just want to say that, like, I don't want to be rude about this, but I think about sort of Cyclone Yasi, like up around Townsville when it happened. I don't know enough or anything about Katrina because that sort of, we were young, or that was before our time or whenever it happened. I just feel like they have more than adequate time to get out of there. Like, you know it's forming over the ocean. You know which way it's headed. People go to, like, uni for 3 years, study meteorology. They've let you know a week in advance. Yo, guys, probably get the fuck out of there, eh? Look, things coming. It's going to ruin your day. And then, like, I understand ruin homes and stuff, but do people, like, die? I don't know.
Probably.
I think people who not necessarily get caught in it because, yeah, there obviously are these warning systems, but I think a lot of people choose to try and ride it out, which is probably a bad idea.
Probably.
You know, wait, hold up. In saying that, you know who loves them? The Japanese. Because I think they call them the typhoon or whatever the divine wind was. Because what happened was, during the era of the Mongolian, because of the Mongolian Empire, right?
I know where this
They went
goes.
over. They went to conquer Japan. The Mongolian Empire was so dominant. Like,
Massive.
they kicked the ass out of everybody else on Earth, really. And
They were the most organised force, they were the most organised society of the time.
fierce, everything. And they're literally about to take Japan. Cyclone comes in, knocks out the Mongolian army.
Obliterates the entire
They call it
Mongolian
the
navy.
divine wind. It saved us. A number of years later, the Mongolians go to have another crack. They took 127,000 troops, approximately. This is based on... Don't quote me on that, because that's memory from year 8. But 127,000 troops, bigger than God knows most armies today. Literally, Japan's about like a week out from surrender. Typhoon, cyclone, whatever you want to call it, comes in, wipes out the Mongolians again, saved Japan twice. What are the fucking chances?
I reckon there's some cunt just out the back near the ocean, like conjuring them.
The airbender.
And
That's
the
who-
Avatar.
That's who we need fucking in Aussie at the moment.
The
If
Avatar.
people come give us a crap, like give us a bit of a hand.
And these sexy little waterbender misses.
Hang on. All right, let's settle this right here, right now.
The Fire Nation chick, she's hot.
Katara, Azula, Ty Lee, or Suki.
Who's the blind earthbender?
Oh, that's Toph.
Toph.
Yeah, that's Toph.
Fuck, Suki. What? I needed the actual comparison.
Suki.
Suki is the
Earth
fighter. Well, she's not actually an earthbender, but she's the fighter chick from an island in the Earth Kingdom.
Suki. What are the other ones?
Azula, Princess Azula,
Azula.
Ty Lee, also Fire Nation. And I mean, May's not really in for contention, is she? Maybe.
Yeah. Ty Lee.
Oh, you know what's won it
Or
for her?
Katara. Katara's
That's won it for her, Joel. That photo there.
Shabby.
Oh, fuck. Stop it. Bit of anime porn, I don't know.
And what was the last one?
Katara. But Katara's not really in with the other three there. She's not up for contention.
Nah, it's between Suki and. No, well that's just
It's a real
that's a
person.
real person. That's a bit of cheat work right
Suki
there.
Avatar. Ty Lee.
Ty Lee, yeah,
It's got to be.
See the tits on her?
yeah.
That and she's super flexible in the movie.
Really?
In the TV show. Yeah, she works as like a
Stop it.
she's like an acrobat for the Fire Nation Circus.
Turn it up.
Have you guys not seen the TV show?
Yeah,
We're actually
I
quitting
got
the
in-
podcast. We're gonna go watch some Netflix.
I've watched episodes here and there, and tried to watch it on Netflix, and I only got 2 episodes in. But
You got to get past that. First few episodes suck, but then you get in and you're like, oh, this is actually sick. I love this.
It's such a good show. I remember watching it as a kid. I loved
Yeah,
it.
that's
you know what was
that's
better?
why I started
The
watching it.
Dragon Racing show,
Oh, Dragon Booster.
Dragon Pista.
That was sick. I used to
The
love
only
that.
thing that can stop me is the Golden Dragon. Fuck, what a film
Oh.
in small segments.
I never watched it. I don't think.
Fuck, so good. Dragon Booster. I don't know if that's how it went, but
All right, the last one I had written down anyway in terms of natural disasters, earthquakes. And in my mind, the roughest, really.
the roughest. It has its way with you, but I don't think they'd be particularly scary
Depends.
compared to the others.
Think about a building falling down, dude.
Yeah, but-
Everything around you shaking, and you had no fucking warning.
If you're in a metropolitan scene, then yeah, scary. Like crazy shit, everything might fall. Really scary stuff. If you're
Out
pretty
Woodward.
well anywhere in Australia, like unless you're central Sydney, you're pretty well safe. And even if you are central Sydney, there's a body of water pretty close that you can jump into.
Dude,
Followed by tons of concrete. And
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, like, if you're
swim.
not in one of the major cities, sure. I think the only place in Australia that's really had a big one that I can think of is Newcastle.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Newcastle earthquake.
I just feel like I'd be so shocked at not being able to stay on my feet. I wouldn't.
It happened in 1989, and it knocked out. Total damage was $4 billion worth of damage in
Mate,
Newcastle.
there's not fucking $4 billion of shit in Newcastle.
It's because it hit a bit of Sydney.
There you go.
Don't be fooled. Newcastle, shithole. I think it was just some of the damage.
Hold up.
The dragon is power. Once they were our equals. Today, humans control the dragon to race, compete, and fight at nearly 200 miles per hour. Now,
200
dragons
miles.
are once again ready to be released. And the powerful dragon of legend will choose a young hero to save the planet. The Dragon Booster. Release the dragon!
I know that line.
Gold dragon is the only thing that can stop me.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't feel great about this episode.
Activate.
Some of it
Hasn't been all bad.
That's been good.
just-
It's a lot of racism.
lot of racism.
Lot of racism.
Yeah, significant bit of racism,
Um,
which is good. I mean, I like the racism.
Got to tell a little quick story before we carry on with the earthquake thing. I told the boys this, but I think it's worth just saying on the podcast. I don't think they'll ever listen to this. I doubt they're gonna go through and listen to all of them. They found out through someone else. But the people I used to work for found out we're doing the podcast, and like I'm still like would talk to. Well, I still would talk to any of them if I saw them, but I still talk to one of them kind of regularly because I see him every now and then. And he called me at 9:00 the other night and just went. It just played a clip from the podcast, just sort of me saying how I applied while I was with them, and Josh going, "Were you ever that committed to fucking the woodwork in the first place?" And I went, "No, well, what happened was." So that was a good look, and if you boys are listening, I had a great year, and fuck you all very much.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, we're all on. Well, I'd like to think good terms.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, we're on good terms.
Classic. Classic.
Nah, all is good in that regard. Okay, earthquakes. Apparently, you're meant to hide under a door frame. That's what they taught Mum when she was growing up in New Zealand.
I mean,
It's because they always fall outwards or inwards, never down.
well, given
I assume they're just sort of more structural.
yeah, like I mean, and you probably remember this a little bit, and Joe, you've probably seen it quite often, day in day out. But you know, after above your doors and your windows, you typically got that bit of LVL, or you know, there's a bit more structure there.
A lintel is
Yeah.
what you call a bit over at least a window or an opening.
Yeah, it's just a little more structural as opposed to right next to a wall.
Yeah, you do, but I don't know. Well, door frames are different.
Are they all
bit.
load bearing there, or is that why?
Over lintels, I think it sort of depends. I think, well, probably my understanding, because I only had it explained to me once because I didn't actually finish the apprenticeship as we covered, but was over an opening, typically windows. It's called a lintel. My assumption is it's external, because that's when you have windows and openings, really. Over, like you guys would have seen over door frames and stuff, there's not like heaps in it, really.
No, typically it is just like an LVL, which is just a big thick bit of timber that's hard to cut through.
But I guess you'd also stand on door frames, because obviously you can't stand in a wall, and it probably just protects you from shit falling.
Yeah.
It just makes the most sense to me, I guess.
But realistically, if you have the option, you just get to the open.
Yeah, get outside the house.
Like, and unless you're thinking there's going to be a big old sinkhole on the neighbourhood oval, probably get to the neighbourhood oval. You'd probably be right. There's probably not going to be a few things that fall on you there.
I'd love to get in a sinkhole. Like, as long as it doesn't go too deep. Like, I'm not talking this is the end deep, just like 4, 5, 10 metres, whatever. Oh, maybe not 10, 10's a bit much, but 6, something I could probably climb out of. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
You know what I'd like to
6
do?
by 6. By 6.
Like my sand pit.
Yeah, your kids are going to die in a sinkhole.
One of them's going to bury the other, and you're just going to be like, where is... I don't know what your second kid name would be. What?
Leia. Luke and Leia.
Genevieve.
Yennefer. Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to walk out into your backyard one day. You're going to... Brian, where is Yennefer? Oh, fucking, I don't know. Check the sandpit, maybe. You're going to dig in there for like 2 days. You're finally going to find like a hand. And that'll be like after digging 3 metres deep. It's going to be crazy.
See, well, the plan is to have so many kids that I won't realise when one's missing.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
So how can the docs take me away if I didn't know I had the kid? If I didn't know the kid existed, how could they take me away?
Such a good option, that too, because you have enough kids that the likelihood of one of them like making a lot of money just...
Then who's paying the bills?
Hollywood. Hollywood kid.
I'd like to be in an earthquake. I think it'd be cool.
I'd like to experience like all of these natural
almost
disasters.
all of them. Hey, it's such an awful thing because anyone who's probably been through it will go, don't ever fucking wish for that. But
The people who
It's-
chase the storms and like
Oh.
sit in the middle of them in like the armored vans.
That would be sick.
so cool.
I would love to do some storm chasing.
What a job.
it's
That
one of
looks
those things
awesome.
where surely it's a hobby.
You need like
Unless
an
you film it.
ATAV surely. Just like drive over people's farm fences and shit and fuck trying to follow the roads to chase a cyclone. Just go straight for it.
As the crow flies.
Just
Yeah.
roll in like big APC or something. That'd be sick.
It's one of those things where it's such a weird part of the human experience where we want to experience
Death.
everything a little bit. Where like, oh look, I'd love to experience the whole chaos of knowing a tsunami's coming, like everyone in a panic, seeing like, wouldn't really see the big fuck off wave till pretty close to the shore, but you'd see it. And just getting away and everyone being okay ideally and no big problems. Same thing, earthquake, cyclone. Would love to see the mayhem of it happening. But also would like to be in a bubble that just sort of protects me from it all.
It's called a plane. Like the people taking the pictures of the bushfires on the airplanes. They're fucking crazy. What a perspective of it.
Oh, wild.
Huge. And like imagine just watching
Tsunamis and
buildings
shit.
crumble and tsunamis just wash away city blocks.
I'm thinking if you were going to be a storm chaser, you'd want something like a big heavy APC. But then you know how on excavators you can get like a drill bit that just does like
Yeah.
massive core holes in the dirt. You'd get like one of them on each corner of the vehicle.
And just
Drill
dig yourself
yeah,
in.
Well, yeah, drill down, dig like the four corners in, and then even if it blows over the top of you, not only are you so heavy, but like also you've got some fixings into the ground.
It's also the storm chasers you always sort of see in America, and I think it's because, like, do we know what? Why don't we get tornadoes here? Like, I'm not upset because we pretty much get fucking everything else, but
It's just to do with the different weather systems.
yeah, like they get just bulk tornadoes over in cornfields and shit. I assume over in the States, and you just gotta. Oh fuck!
God does not like corn.
You'd love to go in a tornado, get fucking tossed around, chucked out, and be okay on the other side, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Can I just quickly say something? If you've been on Netflix lately, there's a movie called Into the Tall Grass or something like that. You seen it? Pop up.
No.
Shit
not seen it.
film. Do not
Really?
watch it. Do not watch it.
What's it about?
It's supposed to be a horror movie about excuse me, getting lost in it like a big cornfield sort of thing.
It's based on a Stephen King.
It's fucking shit. And they
Yeah,
get
right.
lost in there, and then all perception of time is gone, and like they find somebody dies, and then 2 days later they find that person walking around like they did 2 days ago, and then for some reason there's a big rock in the middle of the field that tells people to kill people once they touch it, and like it's like demonic. It's stupid.
Don't watch Into the Tall Grass, folks. That's our tip for the week.
Fucking dumb.
Oh, have you guys watched Sex Education?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I don't mind it. It's real weird
I
because you
thought
look
it
at
was
the
great.
thing, you look at the thing and you're like, fuck that, like the little clip on, the
Oh,
little
yeah.
picture on Netflix, and you go, fuck, Margot Robbie's in that film, in
Is
that
she?
series.
Not Margot Robbie.
She is most certainly not in that series, and you can tell, but looks very similar, but
Looks
then
incredibly like her.
in some stills, but then you see it and you're like, oh, I don't want to be disrespectful, still a very attractive girl, but Margot, not even close really. But yeah, good bit of TV.
I thought it was cracking.
Pretty funny.
I
Yeah.
thought it was up there with Afterlife. I thought it was cracking.
Nah, that's a big call.
Oh, it's a big call, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
I haven't seen it. There's a sex ed series on YouTube that was like on the ABC or something. It got cancelled after a few episodes, but that was quite sad. Actually, there was one part in it that was a bit of a tearjerker, but the rest of it was kind of funny. Bit odd.
Yeah, right.
Bit odd. Don't watch it.
If everybody here gets a chance, go watch Afterlife. God,
Definitely watch Afterlife.
what a TV series. Be prepared. Have tissues nearby and make sure they're aloe vera because you'll use them a bit. But fucking,
I wonder what they could do to season 2. Probably not much.
it'd just be him on the up. But the thing is, I personally find Ricky Gervais really funny.
He's pretty good.
So he'll probably just do more funny shit. Like when they asked him, "Oh, why'd you stop The Office?" He went, "I got tired. I got bored." He was going that well with The Office, but he just stopped it. So probably same thing will happen, I reckon. Episode 23. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen.
Natural
Whale Central.
disasters.
Pretty much the same thing. We just said the exact same thing.
We did. We did.
When are we gonna?
We're like twins.
Start putting in promos from the other people. Probably not this week.
Thank you for listening to us.
Listen to us before you go to sleep. Good night.
This has been a Titancast episode.
Maybe even touch yourself.
Or touch your partner.
Yeah, do something kinky together.
Yeah, do something. Really experiment
Really
tonight.
just go for it.
Really mix it up. Like,
Remember, if he says lightly around, that doesn't mean go in.
Joel has learned that the hard way.
I learnt that the dry way.
Did you?
No.
I was about to say Jesus.
I watched Friends with Benefits the other day.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Oh,
film.
great.
Well, what
film.
the fuck do I know? I'm just a sports editor. Gotta love Woody Harrelson.
If you're listening
pretty
to
good.
this in some sort of a couple, girls, initiate tonight. Really mix things up for you and your significant other.
So,
Better yet, just if you're listening to this as a partnership, the person who doesn't normally initiate tonight. All right?
I saw Blake Ruffy's Snapchat story the other day. I was like, it was the craziest thing. I held my nose.
Oh, it was a TikTok that he
yeah.
made. And he was like...
When
yeah.
you hold your nose and say dishwasher, it pronounces it different. Women. God, I laughed.
I cracked up.
That's bad.
Goodbye.
Way off Central.
We can't finish on that, but we are. Way off Central. Thanks for listening,
Sleep with your
guys.
partner or someone random.
That was a Titancast episode.